What does it mean to do your best? Does it mean working non-stop? Overcoming every challenge? Never failing? Or does doing your best have less to do with perfection and more to do with consistency? The truth is, many times, we feel stuck between what we want to achieve and the fear of not being good enough. We procrastinate, we doubt ourselves, and in the end, we sabotage our own progress. But what if I told you there was a way out of this cycle? That there is an ancient philosophy, tested by time, that can teach you how to do your best every day, without relying on motivation, without getting lost in perfectionism, and without being controlled by the fear of failure? This philosophy is Stoicism. For centuries, the Stoics have studied what makes life meaningful, how to overcome challenges, and how to act with clarity, purpose, and discipline. And today, in this video, I'm going to share with you 12 Stoic secrets to unlocking your full potential. Whether at work, in your studies, in relationships, or simply in the pursuit of a more balanced life, these principles will change the way you approach challenges, decisions, and even your own limits. So get ready, because after this video, you will never see success the same way again. Let's begin. Secret number 1, control what is within your reach. How many times have you been stressed over something beyond your control? The traffic that made you late, other people's opinions about you, the economy, the weather. We constantly worry about things that are simply not in our hands. And what does this cause? Anxiety, frustration, a constant feeling of powerlessness. However, the Stoics understood something that can completely change how you see life. There is a clear distinction between what you can control and what you cannot. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, taught what is known as the dichotomy of control. He said, some things are within our control, others are not. And the key to a more peaceful and effective life? Accepting this truth. When we waste energy trying to change things that don't depend on us, we enter a cycle of suffering. But when we focus on what we can control, our minds become lighter, our actions become more effective, and our lives gain clarity. How can we apply this in practice? The next time you're worried, ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is no, let it go. Accept it. Don't waste your energy. If the answer is yes, act. Focus on what you can do right now. You can't control what others think, but you can control your actions and reactions. You can't control the job market, but you can control how you prepare for it. Stoicism teaches us that true freedom comes when we stop fighting the uncontrollable and focus on what we can actually change. And this is the first secret to doing your best. Secret number 2, action over emotion. Have you ever made a decision in the heat of the moment and later deeply regretted it? Anger, fear, frustration. All these emotions appear suddenly, and we cannot control them. But we have full control over how we react to them. Marcus Aurelius wrote, if you are disturbed by something external, it is not the thing itself that troubles you, but your judgment of it. The problem is never what happens. The problem is how you react. The Stoics did not deny emotions. They understood that feeling anger, fear, or frustration is human. But they also knew that acting impulsively based on those feelings only hurts us. And that's why the second Stoic secret to doing your best is simple yet powerful. Act based on reason, not emotion. The Stoics did not wait to feel motivated to act. They simply did what needed to be done. How can we apply this in practice? Pause before reacting. When you feel a strong emotion, don't act immediately. Breathe. Take a step back. Time reduces the intensity of emotion. Ask yourself, how would I like to have acted 1 week from now? This helps you see the situation more clearly and avoid impulsive decisions. Write before responding. If you need to make a difficult decision, write down your response first. Reading it out loud helps you see if you're reacting emotionally or rationally. The Stoics teach us that feeling is natural, but acting wisely is a choice. And that choice defines your destiny. Secret number 3, the power of self-discipline. How many times have you known exactly what you needed to do, but simply didn't do it? You knew you needed to study, but you stayed on your phone. You knew you should work out, but found an excuse to postpone it. You knew you needed to start that project, but procrastinated again. This happens because we cannot rely on motivation. Motivation is temporary. It comes and goes. But self-discipline, that can take you far. Seneca wrote, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." Success does not depend on luck. It does not depend on inspiration. It depends on being always ready. And for that, there is only one tool: self-discipline. The Stoics understood that discipline overcomes emotion. They did not wait to feel motivated to act. They simply did what needed to be done. How can we develop this in practice? Start small, but be consistent. If you want to build a habit, start with 5 minutes. The important thing is not intensity, but consistency. Eliminate distractions. If something is keeping you from taking action, make failure impossible. Keep your phone away, block social media, create an environment that encourages discipline. Act even without motivation. You don't need to feel like doing something. You just need to start. Commitment to action comes before the feeling. The Stoics knew that the difference between failure and success lies in your ability to act, regardless of how you feel. If you learn to discipline yourself, you will never have to depend on motivation again. Secret number 4. Turn challenges into opportunities. When something goes wrong, what's your first reaction? Frustration? Anger? The urge to give up? Most people see challenges as obstacles, things that block progress. But the Stoics had a completely different view. For them, the obstacle is not the end of the path. The obstacle is the path. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." What does this mean? That challenges do not exist to stop you. They exist to strengthen you. If you're facing a challenge right now, stop and ask yourself, is this testing me or training me? How can this obstacle make me stronger, smarter, more resilient? Here are 3 Stoic ways to turn challenges into growth. Reframe your perspective. Stop seeing the problem as a blockade and start seeing it as training for something bigger. Ask, what can I learn from this? Every obstacle brings a lesson. If you learn, it stops being a problem and becomes a teacher. Keep moving forward. The Stoics did not believe in quitting. Take one step at a time. Even if it seems difficult, moving forward is the only option. The truth is, if everything were easy, you would never evolve. And that's why the Stoics knew that challenges are the raw material of growth. Secret number 5. The importance of mental clarity. Most people don't fail due to lack of effort, but due to lack of direction. They want to improve, but they don't know exactly what they need to do. They want success, but they don't define what it means. They want to do their best, but they are overwhelmed with distractions. The Stoics knew that a confused mind leads to a confused life. That's why they cultivated an essential habit, the pursuit of mental clarity. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic emperors, kept a journal where he wrote his reflections. He didn't write for others. He wrote for himself. To organize his thoughts, to remind himself of what truly mattered, to keep his mind focused. Mental clarity gives us power. If you don't know where you're going, any path will do. But if you have a clear purpose, your actions become much more effective. How can you apply this in practice? Write down your thoughts. Take a few minutes each day to put your ideas, concerns, and goals on paper. This helps to organize the mind and eliminate distractions. Ask powerful questions. Ask yourself, what truly matters to me? Or, is this worry useful or just mental noise? These questions bring focus. Eliminate excess. Less unnecessary information, fewer distractions, fewer worries about things you cannot control. The simpler your mind is, the more productive you will be. The Stoics knew that a mentally clear warrior makes better decisions and acts more efficiently. If you want to do your best, you first need to organize your mind. Secret number 6. Accept failure as part of the process. Everyone wants to succeed. But what most people don't realize is that every great victory is built on a series of failures. The difference between those who go far and those who give up is not luck or talent. It's how they view failure. The Stoics saw failure differently. To them, failing was not a problem. It was a teacher. Seneca wrote, "It's not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It's because we do not dare that they are difficult. Failure is not the end. Failure is a test. It teaches you what you need to improve. It strengthens your resilience. It separates those who truly want something from those who only try when it's easy." How can you apply this in practice? Reframe your view of mistakes. Stop seeing failure as a sign of incompetence and start seeing it as feedback. What is it trying to teach you? Keep your focus on the long term. No great achiever got everything right on the first try. Today's mistake is just a small detail in your journey of growth. Get up faster. The Stoics didn't waste time complaining about the past. Fell down, get up, made a mistake, adjust and move on. The time spent complaining could be used to improve. The Stoics knew that failure is not an enemy. It is a master. If you learn from your mistakes, you cannot fail. Secret number 7. Live with purpose. Have you ever felt like you're just going through the motions without a real sense of meaning? You wake up, go to work, handle your responsibilities, but deep down, you feel like something is missing? That's because a life without purpose is a life without direction. The Stoics knew that true success is not about wealth, status, or external validation. It's about living in alignment with your deepest values. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What is not good for the hive is not good for the bee." In other words, our lives gain meaning when we understand why we do what we do, and when we contribute to something greater than ourselves. Living with purpose means acting with intention. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what truly matters. How can you apply this in practice? Define your core values. Ask yourself, what truly matters to me? What principles do I want to live by? Write them down and use them as your compass. Eliminate what doesn't contribute to your journey. If something isn't aligned with what you value, then it doesn't deserve your attention or energy. Act with integrity every day. Small, intentional actions create a meaningful life. Purpose is not just in the future, it's in the choices you make daily. The Stoics knew that a life without purpose is a wasted life. If you want to do your best, you first need to know why you're doing what you do. Now, let's move on to the next secret. Secret number 8. Develop emotional resilience. Life won't always be easy. There will be moments of uncertainty, difficulties, criticism, and failure. But what truly matters is not what happens to you. It's how you respond to it. The Stoics understood that true strength does not come from avoiding hardships, but from facing them with calm and clarity. Seneca wrote, "If you want your life to run smoothly, be prepared to accept setbacks. This means you cannot be a slave to your emotions." Emotional resilience is the ability to stay calm even when everything seems to be against you. How can you develop this in practice? Anticipate challenges. The Stoics practiced an exercise called premeditatio malorum, imagining difficulties before they happen. This prepares your mind to handle adversity better. Distance yourself from negative emotions. When something bad happens, take a deep breath and ask yourself, will this still matter a year from now? If the answer is no, then it's not worth your energy now. Train your tolerance for discomfort. Small daily challenges like taking cold showers or doing difficult tasks without complaining strengthen your endurance. The Stoics knew that we don't control what happens, but we control how we react. If you learn to stay firm even in the middle of a storm, nothing can break you. Secret number 9. Simplicity and focus. We live in a world of excess. Excess information, excess tasks, excess distractions. Every day, we are bombarded with notifications, expectations, and demands that pull us away from what truly matters. But the Stoics knew that the simpler your life, the more focused you become. Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." This doesn't mean you should give up everything. It means you must learn to distinguish what is essential from what is just noise. If you want to do your best, you must remove what is holding you back. How can you apply this in practice? Reduce distractions. If something is not helping you grow or fulfill your mission, eliminate or drastically reduce it. Your time and energy are valuable. Learn to say no. Not every opportunity is worth it. If something is not aligned with your values and goals, refuse it without guilt. Focus on what truly matters. Ask yourself daily, what is essential for me? Direct your attention and efforts toward that. The Stoics knew that the fewer things competing for your attention, the stronger your focus becomes. And when you learn to focus on what truly matters, your productivity and impact increase exponentially. Secret number 10. The power of the present moment. How many times have you found yourself dwelling on the past or worrying about the future? Regretting past mistakes, or feeling anxious about things that haven't even happened yet? This happens because our mind constantly tries to pull us away from the only place where we have control, the present. The Stoics knew that living in the present is the key to doing your best. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Concentrate on the present moment. Ask yourself, what is wrong with this exact moment? The past is gone. The future hasn't arrived yet. All that exists is this moment." If you want to achieve excellence, you must learn to bring your attention back to the now. How can you do this in practice? Practice mindfulness. Whenever you notice your mind wandering to the past or future, bring it back to what is happening now. Do one thing at a time. Multitasking makes you more distracted and less efficient. Give your full attention to what you're doing. Accept reality as it is. Many worries come from resisting the present. Instead of fighting what is happening, accept it and act wisely. The Stoics knew that a large part of human suffering comes from a lack of presence. If you learn to focus on the now, your life will become more productive, more peaceful, and far more meaningful. Secret number 11. Learn to say no. Have you ever said yes to something you didn't want to do, just to please someone? Have you accepted unnecessary commitments, tasks that weren't yours, or demands that only drained your energy? This happens because we fear disappointing others. But the Stoics knew that if you don't know how to say no, you will always be at the mercy of other people's desires. Seneca wrote, "A person who loses their time loses their life." Every time you say yes to something unimportant, you're saying no to your priorities. Saying no is not rude. It's about protecting your energy. It's about ensuring that your time is spent on what truly matters. How can you do this in practice? Be clear and direct. You don't need long explanations. A simple, "I can't right now," or "that doesn't align with my goals," is enough. Remember your purpose. Before accepting something, ask yourself, does this bring me closer to my goals, or will it just overload me? Practice silence. Not every request needs an immediate answer. If you feel pressured, take a moment, think, and only say yes if it truly makes sense for you. The Stoics knew that time and attention are limited resources. If you learn to say no to what doesn't add value, you'll have more time to focus on what truly matters. Now, let's move on to the final secret. Secret number 12. Accept the impermanence of life. Everything you have today, one day will no longer exist. The people around you, your achievements, your material possessions, even you. Everything is temporary. At first, this might sound frightening, but the Stoics saw this reality differently. They understood that impermanence is not a reason for despair. It's a reason to live with more intention and purpose. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life at any moment. Let that determine what you do and say." This concept is called memento mori, the remembrance of death. Not to sadden us, but to wake us up. When we accept that time is finite, we stop wasting it on things that don't matter. We appreciate the people around us more. We live each moment with greater presence and gratitude. How can you apply this in practice? Appreciate the now. Everything can change overnight. Enjoy the small things, like a conversation, a quiet moment, or a simple sunset. Stop postponing life. Don't wait for the right moment to start something important. The only moment guaranteed is now. Let go of the fear of failure. If everything is temporary, even your mistakes and failures will one day just be memories. Don't let fear stop you from taking action. The Stoics knew that when we accept impermanence, we live with more courage, more purpose, and more gratitude. If there's something you know you need to do, do it now. Because one day, The only thing that will remain is the choices you made. You've made it to the end. Now, you know the 12 Stoic secrets to doing your best. You've learned that real growth happens when you focus on what you can control, act with reason, and develop self-discipline. That challenges are not barriers. They are opportunities for learning. That mental clarity, emotional resilience, and simplicity are essential for a balanced life. That living with purpose, learning to say no, and accepting impermanence are keys to a meaningful existence. But here's the truth. Just knowing this is not enough. The Stoics didn't believe in just absorbing knowledge. They believed in practicing what they learned. So now, I have a challenge for you. Pick one of these 12 secrets and put it into practice today. Don't wait for next week, next month, or next year. Because what defines who you become is not what you know, but what you do with that knowledge. Now let me know in the comments. Which of these secrets resonated with you the most? If this content helped you, like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear this message, and follow me for more content like this. And remember, excellence is not a destination. It's a daily choice. See you in the next video.